Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 125th commencement exercises of the Marcellus Central School District. Please rise as the class of 2018 enters. Gentlemen, welcome to the 125th commencement exercises of the Marcellus Central School District. Please remain standing for the national anthem led by Senior Nathaniel Murphy and the senior choir members. It will be immediately followed by our alma mater.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare above bursting air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? Sing a song for old Marcellus, shout aloud the cheer, lift thy hearts and voices in a ringing song. Old Marcellus, best of high school, school we love most dear. May thy sons and daughters thy name revere.
Thank you, Nate and seniors. It is my honor to introduce the guests that will share the stage with our Marcellus graduates today. To my right, Board President Thomas West, Board Member David LaCastro, Board Member Janine Lundrigan, Board Member Michael McAuliffe, Board Member Margie Venzel. To my left, Anthony Sinaccio, Business Administrator. Katie Cook, K-12 STEM Coordinator. Kara Lux, Special Ed Director. Commencement co-speaker, Rochelle Skatine. Commencement co-speaker, Craig Chamberlain. And our Superintendent of Schools, Michelle Brantner. Sorry. Senior moment. Located on the stage and in our audience today are faculty and staff members who have spent the past 13 years educating the class of 2018. I would ask the members on the stage to stand and be recognized, and if you're in the audience, I would ask you to stand and be recognized also. At this time, it is my pleasure to introduce you to Ms. Michelle Brantner.
Good afternoon, graduates of the class of 2018, faculty and board members, families and friends. Graduates, this is your day, set aside to celebrate you. As a former teacher and high school principal, I still go through the mixed emotions as we watch a group of young people that we've cared for and nurtured for many years Leave our doors ready to enter the world, and ready you are. Last week, I was fortunate to also be asked to share a few words with our 8th graders as they had their moving up ceremony. I must admit that I actually started my speech by complaining that I always get asked to speak last. I mean, who wants to speak last? That means you're potentially repeating wisdom shared by a previous speaker, and of course, if there's any kind of reception to follow, you are the person standing between the crowd and a piece of cake. So let me begin by extending my sincere thanks to Mr. Durkee, probably for the first time in history forgot the name of his boss. But I forgive him, because he gave me a primetime spot this afternoon. Since he asked me to give you words of welcome, I began thinking about what I could say that would not only start off this ceremony, but also start you, the graduates, off on your path in life in the best way possible. I couldn't help but think of the many challenges that you will eventually face in your lives as adults. In my pondering, I happened upon this quote from John von Neumann, famous mathematician and physicist, who summed it up perfectly. If people do not believe that mathematics is simple, it's only because they do not realize how complicated life is. Now that's a true statement. If you've ever been one of those people who insists they just can't do math, imagine what a challenge you might face just getting out of bed in the morning. I mean, when I saw that quote, especially knowing that you as a class chose 2 math teachers to be your graduation speakers for today, I just couldn't help but use it. So today I wish to share with you a few reminders about roadblocks you will likely encounter on your path to success, coupled with a little wisdom to remind you how to push through even when the going gets tough. So one of the first attributes you will all need if you're to be successful is motivation. In life, you have to be motivated even to do things you don't enjoy. Nevertheless, it's likely that you will find yourselves faced with one daunting task or another and no motivation at all to forge ahead. If you do, remember the words of famous actor Will Rogers, who said, "Even if you're on the right track, you will get run over if you just sit there." He couldn't be more right. Don't wait for life to pass you by. Get motivated and go after whatever your heart desires. So hopefully that piece of wisdom will help you with any motivation issues that may come your way. But sometimes, even when we're motivated, it's easy to become paralyzed if we develop a fear of failing. I mean, what if you try something and it turns out to be a complete disaster? Being stopped by fear certainly won't help you achieve anything. Actor Ed Helms provided some sage advice when he said, "So long as your desire to explore is greater than your desire not to screw up, you're on the right track." Ed's right. Forward motion is forward motion, even if it comes in the tiniest of increments. So I've provided you with a plan for motivation and one to conquer your fear of failing, but you still may find yourselves at one point or another mired in a state of sadness and despair. I mean, you're going to be going through a lot of change in a short period of time, and all of those familiar to you won't be there to read your facial expressions and determine your mood and swoop in to rescue you. You may even start wondering, why is no one reaching out to check on me? So if you ever need a reminder that people really do care, consider famous baseball player Earl Wilson's words. If you think nobody cares if you're alive, try missing a couple of car payments. Hey, desperate times calls for desperate measures. Although knowing this amazing community, I doubt you will ever have to go that far to get the support you need. So as I prepared for my speech today, I was talking to one of my colleagues, and in so many words, she told me that no matter what I decided to say, it should be short. She wanted to make sure that the ceremony didn't drag on and on. Maybe she knows how much I like to talk. I say, why rush through such a milestone event? In fact, I can guarantee that you have all already been tempted to wish away the present in a desperate desire to make future events come to you at a faster rate. I'm even certain that some of you have uttered the words, "I just can't wait to get out of high school," on more than one occasion. Take it from me, life goes fast enough. Live this day and this moment before worrying about any other day or any other moment. Savor your present experiences. And if you ever need a reminder, remember the words of former co-hosts of NPR's Car Talk, Tom and Ray Magliozzi, who said, "You will never have more energy, enthusiasm, or hair than you have today." I guess that should be cause enough for celebration and a good reason to live the moment. One thing I know for certain is that if you don't already feel fortunate to have been raised as a Marcellus Mustang, it won't be long before you will. I myself feel incredibly blessed to have been embraced by such a caring community and can honestly say it's been an honor for me to watch you grow over the past 2 years. May your life ahead be full of love, joy, success, and happy adventures. Thank you for the mark you've left on our school. Welcome to the day you graduate from high school. Savor every second. Congratulations.
Thank you, Mrs. Brantner. At this time, the class of 2018 would like to share with you a slideshow. The slideshow has been arranged by Michaela Stevens and Rebecca Nutting. Kayla, and Rebecca. It certainly is a walk down memory lane. It is my sincere honor to introduce you to our senior class president, Mr. Luke Norstad. Luke?
Well, a picture is worth 1,000 words. I can start out by saying that. All right, well, hello and welcome. I'm honored to be here standing, representing my class as president. In preparation for my speech, I have realized why they scheduled me so early in the lineup. It's what Mark Twain called the live frog principle. Twain argued, and quite convincingly, that one should always swallow a live frog at the beginning of every day. That way you would know the worst part of your day is behind you. So I'm here to be your frog. Today, we celebrate the achievements that we have accomplished in our high school careers, from making the physical transition from the middle school to the high school, and then back down to the middle school, proving the unknown known, and conquering all the challenges of learning. One of the greatest things that I've learned here, through the example of the teachers and administrators giving so much to the students, is kindness. They truly have offered time and concern for each and every student. Kindness was a novel word for me coming into high school. I now try my best to act without any expectation of return from my peers. I went from only having compassion towards my close friends to being compassionate for everyone. I hope to continue this in the future and be a model to what our school is all about. Here at Marcellus, we have been very fortunate to be surrounded by teachers and students who care. Every teacher puts in all the time needed to see their students succeed. Because of that, the soil here is perfect to grow some of the best students and characters. When you get a lot of caring people in one building, there are beautiful friendships that radiate. Our class has created bonds, and we should all cherish the opportunities that we've had to prosper and share interests with each other. Part of today is sad for us as we begin different paths and go our own ways. We remain hopeful that our paths cross again in the future. Throughout the past 4 years, we have persevered through academics, athletics, clubs, and activities outside of school. We have been challenged constantly, keeping in mind the greater reward of success. We can all agree that high school is hard at times. Not many senior classes have had to return to the middle school to complete their senior year. However, I'm not saying that the rest of our lives are going to be any easier. John F. Kennedy said that every accomplishment starts with the decision to try. The truth is that sometimes it's hard to try and persevere through. Some days, we just don't want to wake up at 6 a.m. We want to put the alarm clock on snooze and take the effortless way out. We want to, snooze will get us nowhere in life. We have to show up every day, ready to work, ready to learn, and ready to get 1% better. These past years have just been the foundation and the base to our futures. We'd like to thank our teachers and our families for that. We're thankful for the skills and the life lessons that you've taught us. However, it's now time for us to take control of our ships and fulfill our destinies. Each one of us has motivation within. That, combined with our effort, is going to grow us as successful individuals. An anonymous quote states, "The past is a lesson, the present is your gift, and the future is your motivation." So, fellow classmates, my advice to you is find what excites you, find what motivates you, and give it all your effort. I wish you all the very best in the future. Thank you.
Before I read the next citation, I would ask that all members in our audience and on the stage who have served our country in military service please stand. Marcellus Senior High School students have a proud history of military service to their country, from the battlefields of the Civil War to the sands of Normandy to the deserts of the Middle East. Mustangs have fought valiantly and honored their country, their community, and their families. The class of 2018 has two graduates who have chosen service to country. Connor Kassler, please come forward. Connor Kassler has enlisted in the United States Army. His MOS will be Military Imagery Analyst. Jaden Herr, please come forward. Jaden has enlisted in the United States Air Force. Her MOS will be Security Forces. To all, thank you for your service, and to our graduates, Godspeed. One of the long-standing traditions at Marcellus Senior High School has been that of honors graduates. We honor students who have achieved a 92 or better average during the first 3.5 years at Marcellus. I would ask that they stand and remain standing when I call their names. Audience, please hold your applause as this list is quite lengthy. The 2018 honors graduates are Lauren Young, Daniel Rona, Brianna Van Helsdingen, Paige Tomini, Emma Stewart, Julia Stoll, Jane Stewart, Michaela Stevens, Sarah Schwalbe, Jack Santarello, Madison Riccardi, Joe Riccardi, John Riccardi, Rachel Randall, Olivia Quick, Lily Powell, Daniel Pesesnik, Ryan Pierce, Elijah Pacini, Patrick O'Hara, John O'Hara, Rebecca Nutting, Nathaniel Murphy, Violet Moncavage, Ethan Molinari, Madeline Mahoney, Lauren Lundergan, Kathleen LaCastro, Mackenzie Libra, Noah Lefevre, Elise LaBombard, Quinn Kinsella, Kaylee Kemp, Grace Hoey, Lily Henson, Samuel Hayduke, Aaron Haas, Samuel Grattan, Alessa Dixie, Samantha DeMarco, Hannah Delastrito, Tricia Curtin, Taylor Chrysler, Justin Costa, Grace Kuhn, Alyssa Cook, Mary Colella, McKenna Carl, Riley Burns, Noel Burkett, and Olivia Bird. Ladies and gentlemen, our 2018 honors graduate. You may be seated. At this time, it is a pleasure to introduce our honors speaker, Mr. Daniel Rona.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Dan Rona, and I am representing the honors graduates, as well as the graduating class as a whole. I would like to speak about the inevitable phrases that will be told to you by family and friends today and throughout the next couple months. I thought I would also offer up my take on some effective cliches that I think are important to keep in mind as we progress through the next stages of our lives. The first one, and arguably the most important one, is don't be afraid to take risks. The next 4 years, at the least, are going to provide us with lots of unique experiences, many of which could turn out to be once in a lifetime. We come from such a small tight-knit community, where at the very least we know each other by name. While Marcellus will always be a part of your background, there is so much more to this world that belongs to us. Amy Poehler once said, "You never know what is around the corner unless you peek. Take your risks now. Travel. Eat something new. Go see a band you've never heard of. Talk to someone you've never talked to before. Gain a greater understanding of our world by chasing these healthy risks. If there's nothing shaking on Shakedown Street, you just gotta poke around. You might be told you're going places multiple times in the near future. In my opinion, you won't personally go anywhere if you physically don't go anywhere. Make that phrase whatever you want it to be. That's not to say that you can't be successful by staying close to home. You absolutely can. But at the least, going somewhere new certainly can make for some great stories to be told one day." Another adage that comes to my mind is learn to fail or fail to learn. Not everything is going to be so easy as we transition into college or into the workforce. Some of us will need to learn to fail, meaning that we'll have to learn how to handle receiving quite possibly some of the worst grades in our academic careers. Some of us will need to learn to cope with plans failing and how to solve our problems and improvise. Some of us will need to fail in order to learn. You've all heard the phrase, "It's not about the destination, it's about the journey." Sometimes we learn more from attempting to solve a problem and failing several times before finding success rather than getting it right on the first try. WD-40, for example, is called such because it is the 40th formulation attempt and is the one that worked. Sometimes it's more effective to learn why some things don't work instead of learning why some things do work. In a similar vein, the Post-it note was invented by accident. The inventor's goal was to produce a super strong adhesive, and what he got instead was a super weak reusable adhesive, but I think we can all agree that it was a pretty beneficial mistake on his end. Another one you might hear thrown around is this isn't the end, it's the beginning. Sure, it's the beginning of a new era in our lives, but it is definitely the end of an era as well. Don't brush off your high school experience as meaningless just because you're moving on. While you're off finding new outlooks on life and experiencing new things, don't forget to remember what you've learned and experienced in Marcellus. Everything you've been through can be tied back to this town and the people related to it in one way or another. Remember your peers and what you learned from spending time with them. You never know where you could run into a former classmate in the future. In conclusion, I would like to address the uber inevitable good lucks coming our way. After we walk across this stage at our graduation parties, you know what I'm talking about. What does good luck mean? We say it all the time, but what does it mean? Well, nothing until you define luck. I'll always remember a definition of good luck my father told me. Having good luck is when your preparation meets opportunity. We've all prepared in different ways. We've passed, we've received honors awards, we've challenged ourselves, we've shadowed professionals, we've recorded albums, we've applied and gotten accepted into college, we've innovated and designed products, and we've run businesses. Now it's time for our college preparation to begin and for opportunities of any form to arrive. Be kind, keep pushing boundaries, keep striving for that greater position, keep experiencing new things, keep living. With that, I hope that all of our preparation meets opportunity.
At this time, it is my sincere honor to present the awards to the graduating seniors. I would ask Superintendent Brantner to come and help me. As you may well imagine, choosing the recipients of these awards is often a difficult decision. There are so many strong candidates in the class of 2018. The first award is the Ryan Alazansky Award. The family of Ryan Alazansky, a 1999 graduate of Marcellus Senior High School, offers this merit-based scholarship in his memory to a deserving graduating senior who possesses similar qualities and characteristics. It is awarded to a student who demonstrates strength of character through leadership, community service, and commitment to helping those in need. This year's recipient is Daniel Pesesnik. The Robert Midgley Memorial Award is given in memory of Mr. Midgley, a dedicated community member, father, husband, and professional photographer. Many cherished moments of the Marcellus Senior High School proms and balls and senior portraits were captured by Bob. It is his dedication and passion for the art of photography and his love of the Marcellus Central School District that we are here to commemorate. This year's recipient is Miss Rachel Randall. The Marcellus Central School District Bus Driver Scholarship is an award funded by our bus drivers. It is given to seniors who demonstrate perseverance and effort in achieving their education. This year, there are 2 recipients, Mr. Bradley Stoyle and Miss Emily Weeks. The Fetterman Durant Scholarship Award is donated by the High School Science Department in memory of Mr. Fetterman, who served at the students of Marcellus Senior High School as a physics teacher and science department chairperson, and Mr. Reginald Durant, who served the students as an earth science teacher and science department chairperson. This award goes to an outstanding science student. This year's recipient is Miss Sam DeMarco. The Marcellus Optimist Club donates the Donald Kilcoyne Award for Occupational Education to the students whose grades and attendance make them the most outstanding graduate of our BOCES occupational education classes. This year's recipient is Miss Courtney Otis. The Mulroy Scholarship Fund is an award established by Mildred R. Mulroy pursuant to the provisions of her last will and testament. This award is given to students pursuing an education in the field of mathematics and/or science. The recipients of the Mulroy Scholarship are Miss Madeline Mahoney and Miss Brianna Van Helsdingen. The Hugh Dawson Military Service Award goes to a student entering military service in honor of Mr. Dawson. The recipient this year is Mr. Connor Kessler. I'm going to have Connor stay here. The Ida Gleason Award is an award given in memory of Ida Gleason by the County South Research Center to a graduating senior based on community service and financial need. This year's recipients are Chad Kessler and Connor Kessler. The Marcellus Rotary Club donates the next award, which is given to a senior who exemplifies the Rotary motto, service above self, as evidenced through his or her senior English language arts portfolio service learning reflection piece. This year's recipient is Marcy Gosson. The family of Michael Cogswell presents the Michael Cogswell Memorial Award to a student who has combined the love of English and music. This year's award goes to Jane Stewart. The Dorothy Long Scholarship is given by the Marcellus High School graduates of the class of 1931 to 1939 to honor their class advisor. This year's recipient is Mackenzie Libra. The Martisco Lions Club is a scholarship provided by the Martisco Lions Club and presented to the graduating seniors based on community involvement and exemplary work ethic. The recipients of the Lions Club Scholarship this year are Grace Hoey and Paige Tomini. The Jonathan Clark Memorial Scholarship is presented by the Clark family in memory of John Clark, a 1986 graduate of Marcellus High School. John loved music and was an active member of the MCS senior band. This award goes to a graduating senior who has a background in music and has been accepted to an institution of higher learning where he or she will participate in music activities and/or performance. This year's recipient is Mr. Daniel Rona. The family of John Joseph Lamanchi have established the John Joseph Lamanchi Scholarship. It is presented to graduating seniors who embrace academics and espouse the principles of respect, kindness, and compassion of every person. The recipients of the John Joseph Lamanchi Memorial Scholarship are Catherine LaCastro and Olivia Bird. The family and friends of Michael Sheridan have established the Michael Sheridan Memorial Scholarship. The scholarship is awarded to student athletes who exemplify similar characteristics to Michael, a student who works hard and is competitive on both the classroom, in the classroom and on the athletic field. These students must have the strong desire to achieve in both areas. We are presenting these two awards to Meg O'Brien and Matthew Reich. The Nicole Seaman Memorial Humanitarian Award is given in memory of Nicole Seaman, a member of the class of 1998. This award is intended to recognize a member of the class who has demonstrated a compassionate attitude and whose behavior has positively impacted the lives of others. The recipient of this award this year is Alessa Dixie. The Marcellus Faculty Association Scholar Incentive Award is provided by the Marcellus Faculty Association and presented to the graduating senior for academic excellence. The recipient this year is Samantha DeMarco. Each year, our Board of Education gives an art purchase award to honor one piece of work that the art teachers select as representing the best work completed by a senior student. This work is then hung in the district. This year's art purchase award is McKenna Carl. The Holly Prentice Memorial Scholarship is provided by our Fine Arts Department to a graduating senior who exemplifies the qualities, values, and morals that Holly stood for and lived by. This year, this award is being presented to Mr. Nate Murphy. The Marcellus High School Character Education Award is presented to a student who embodies Marcellus Senior High School's values and traits in and out of school, integrity, tenacity, and community throughout his or her college career, or high school career. The recipient of the award this year is Mr. Ryan Pierce. The Christine Parrish Nursing Scholarship is an award presented to a graduating senior pursuing a career in nursing and/or the medical field. The recipient of the award this year is Quinn Kinsella. The Atisco Lake Preservation Association Care of the Environment Award is an award given to a deserving senior to continue their study of environmental, biological, or health science, especially related to water conservation, quality, or protection. This year's award goes to Madeline Mahoney. The Rodrigo Scholarship is an award given to a graduating senior who will study fine arts at the college level. The award this year is given to Abigail Delaney. The Carmen Costa Jr. Memorial Scholarship is given to a student who has demonstrated the characteristics exemplified by Mr. Costa. This student is caring, conscientious, encourages his or her classmates, and has demonstrated high musical achievement and dedication to the band program. This year's recipient is Julia Stoll. The Patty Weiss Educational Assistance Award is given to a graduating senior from Marcellus Senior High School who plans to study science at a 2-year or 4-year college and has demonstrated a consistent commitment to Baltimore Woods through volunteer programs. This year's recipient is McKenna Carl. The Jody Tanner Carla Memorial Scholarship is given to a senior pursuing a post-secondary education who serves as a positive role model through perseverance, determination, versatility, loyal, honesty, compassion, and commitment throughout his or her high school career. This year's recipient is Tricia Curtin. The Malcolm Memorial Award is presented annually to a senior entering the field of education. It is donated by the daughters of John R. Malcolm, who served as board president for 38 years. The recipient this year is Luke Norstad. The MacLeod Building for the Future Educational Assistance Award was established by the MacLeod Remodeling and Construction Firm. It is awarded to a senior who has participated in a class, trade, independent study, internship, or job in the construction, carpentry, design, or related field. This year's recipient is David Card. The Marcellus Academic Club, which consists of parents, teachers, and community members, presents the top 3 graduating seniors with the highest grade point averages with the following awards. The recipients this year are, with the 3rd highest average of a 99.73 weighted GPA. This student attended, not only has a 99.73 GPA, but attended Krause Hospital's Choices programs, was a member of the transition team, mock trial, and character education, studies and trains ballet 20 hours a week through Syracuse Ballet, and has been a 2-year participant in the Cornell Enrich Your Horizons program. This year's 3rd highest average goes to Madison Riccardi. The next weighted average of 100.12 goes to a student who has volunteered with the Syracuse Amasis Dental Association Clinic, Marcellus Youth Soccer Duck Race, Christmas Gifts for Syracuse City Schools District Children, Brady Faith Center volunteer, and Feed My Starving Children. She rebuilt houses in New Orleans through Project Southern Comfort, choreographed the middle school production of Legally Blonde. She's a member of the jazz band, Double Down, Math League, Teen Institute, Community Band, SAD, and Student Government. Participated in all 4 years of the all-school show. Plays the flute in church. Is a National Honor Society, Rho Kappa member, National Spanish Honor Society member, and played soccer, lacrosse, and track during her 4 years here. This year's 2nd highest average goes to Olivia Bird. And this year, with a 100.65, this student has volunteered at Krause Hospital Summer Junior Volunteer Program, Secretary of National Honor Society, Secretary of Rho Kappa, Social Studies Honor Society, a member of the All-School Show, member of the Everson Teen Arts Council, varsity volleyball and indoor track member of the Transition Team, member of the Onondaga Volleyball Club, participated in Math League and Character Education, received 2 gold keys for Scholastic Art Awards, as a member of the band. This year's recipient is Rachel Randall. The next award is given in honor of Chester Driver and Lucy Sweet. The Chester Driver and Lucy Sweet Scholarship Awards are presented to 4 seniors based on the following criteria: high scholastic academic performance, demonstrated leadership while at Marcellus, and participation in leadership and community affairs. The 4 recipients this year are Ryan Pierce, Daniel Rona, Rachel Randall, and Madison Riccardi. The Robert Earl Baker Scholarship is given to students who meet the requirements of Mr. Baker's will. The criteria includes academic standing, financial need, and a planned course of study in college. This is the 39th year of the scholarship, and these are 4-year scholarships. They are presented to Lauren Lundergan and Olivia Bird. Can I have one more round of applause for all of our award recipients today? Each year, the class officers meet with me to discuss the selection process for our guest speaker. I give them one specific instruction. I say to them, make sure the person represents the entire class. The analytical minds of our officers quickly realize that one teacher does not typically have every student in the building during their 4 years in high school, but 2 teachers do. It is my honor to introduce you for the very first time our co-speakers. Ms. Rochelle Skatine is a 1999 graduate of Marcellus Senior High School. She attended Oregon State University, where she received her bachelor's degree. She completed her master's degree at Lemoyne College and began teaching math here in 2006. She is an adjunct math professor and is a New York State master teacher. Mr. Craig Chamberlain is a 2001 graduate of West Genesee High School. He received his bachelor's degree from Geneseo State University and his master's from Lemoyne. He began his teaching career in Marcellus in 2008. He is a math league coach, tech mentor, Marcellus Enterprises advisor, and he moonlights in a dad band. Mostly, he likes to be known as Mrs. Skatine's math husband. Ladies and gentlemen, Rochelle Skatine and Craig Chamberlain. I took care of it.
Hi, guys. We would like to welcome the Board of Education, Mrs. Brantner, distinguished guests, the Marcellus Senior Class of 2018, their families, and their friends. We would like to thank the senior class for the invitation to share this day with you. It is an honor to be a part of your celebration.
Nothing defines a generation quite like technology. Baby boomers were defined by the television and vinyl records. Generation X was defined by cassettes, CDs, and video games. Millennials will defined by the internet and cell phones. Post-millennials, that's you guys, are defined by the smartphones, social media, Snapchat, and streaming content. So, with that said, your first picture here, well, before it's actually official. Then I got to tweet this, sorry. Say cheese. Okay. So now Ms. Skatine will present you with an appropriate metaphor for your life up to this point.
All right, you guys. Have you seen the new show on Netflix called Your Life? It's great. It's only 4 seasons long, so you're going to be able to binge watch over the weekend, be all caught up. Here's the rundown.
Okay, so the main character is you. Season 1 starts when you were born. You took your first breath. You cried, you ate, you slept, and your parents changed your diapers about 12 times a day. You had your first fever, and you guys called the hospital when it was only 99 degrees Fahrenheit. You took your first steps. You took your first bite of baby food and then spit all of it out. You smiled. You said your first words. You started rolling, crawling, wobbling, walking, and then running. You played with other kids. You began making decisions and choices about your life, like what foods you would eat, where the Tupperware goes, and you thought that shorts were perfectly fine for the January. You never stopped asking why. You may not remember this season, but the audience loved it. And believe me, there's plenty of pictures and videos to embarrass you by in years to come.
Season 2 picks up with your first day of kindergarten. Your parents picked out your outfit and took way too many pictures. You began envisioning your future by the things you loved to do or by your interests. You wanted to drive an excavator, dance like a ballerina, be a Major League Baseball player, or an astronaut that walks on the moon. As soon as you got to school, Mrs. Wiley said all you asked about was when was lunch. You got your first library card. You learned how to borrow books and return them. You realized you had a story to tell, and your thoughts were put into writing to be documented and shared with others. You started to play organized sports, which was highly entertaining. You were continually reminded that you had to share, and you embraced the KCH motto, do not hurt anyone on the outside or the inside. As the years went by, though, you still continued to ask why all of the time.
So season 3 begins with your first day at Driver Middle School, and not your last. You were excited and apprehensive about being in the biggest school on campus and no longer in the comforts of KCH. But you adjusted well and realized that even though the building was larger, you were still cherished, you were still loved and supported by your teachers and classmates. You were awkward and curious. You were the Common Core crusaders. You continued to tell your stories. Maybe not to be shared with your classmates, but you trusted your teachers to read your thoughts, dreams, and fears. This season came to a close as you sang songs from the movie Frozen to and from Niagara Falls. Then you celebrated several years of hard work with your peers and families at the 8th grade moving up ceremony.
Season 4 begins with your first day of high school. Your favorite question was, is this going to be on the test? You started 9th grade with some good friends and grew apart from others. You started a band. You played varsity sports. You starred in the fall drama or the spring musical. You didn't do all of your assignments, but you still asked for extra credit anyway. You continued to document your story through your portfolios and writing pieces, your paintings and sculptures, your videos and music. You welcomed a new student to school. You thought the middle school was so much fun, you came back for another year. You tried to figure out what street your teacher lives on. You may have even been asked to babysit your teacher's kids live. You asked a classmate on a date.
You talked a big game, but you lost to me in Mario Kart. You brought in a really old egg for show and tell, and you ate it in front of the class. You put goldfish in the toilet. Wait, is this the wrong season? No, it's not. You made mistakes and you learned from them. You taught your teachers what a dub in Gucci meant. You barely survived whitewater rafting, so you should make it through the next few minutes here. You're on your phone right now, aren't you? We're totally bugging.
That brings us to now. We've finished all the seasons available to us. As of today, the show has been picked up for another season. Coming August 2018, you'll be able to direct your own season. Here are some suggestions for season 5.
Be creative.
Explore the world outside of Marcellus.
Study abroad.
Find a professor or mentor who's trying to help change the lives of those less fortunate and join them on their mission.
Listen and learn about other cultures and viewpoints.
Vote.
Get a job doing something you love, not something just for the money.
Keep playing an instrument.
Come back to Marcellus and share your stories.
Most important, thank those who helped get you where you are today.
An inspiring man once said, "I wish there was a way to know you're in the good old days before you've actually left them." Well, we've got news for you. You get to decide when the good old days end. Maybe this season is over, but there are many good old seasons left. We will be eagerly awaiting to binge watch over Christmas break and summer too. Make your own path. Challenge yourself. Take chances. Be proud of your choices. Love what you do. And remember, you are the director and producer of your Netflix series.
Before we begin the transformation of our senior class to graduates of Marcellus, there is one person I would like to formally recognize. That is Miss Heidi Buza, who is working her last day as a Marcellus teacher and advisor today. She is retiring as of today. She has been a wonderful teacher of earth science and living environment. She has been a coach, a content specialist. She is well respected by the children and by her colleagues. I have relied on her over the years for many, many different things. Today, she has the honor of reading the graduates' names as her swan song. So congratulations, Heidi, and have a wonderful retirement. Marcellus senior class, it is now time to transform from seniors to graduates of Marcellus Senior High School. I would ask the Board of Education and Superintendent Brantner to join me on stage to award the diplomas.
I'm putting his stuff down here. You ready? The diplomas out here? Do you have the diplomas? Okay. Olivia Margaret Bird. Noel Evans Burkett. Riley John Burns. McKenna Shea Carl. Mary Ann Kallela. Alyssa Rain Cook. Grace Elizabeth Danaher Kuhn. Justin Thomas Costa. Taylor Nicole Chrysler. Trisha Marie Curtin. Hannah Elizabeth Del Strito. Samantha Rose DeMarco. Alessa Josephine Dixie. Samuel Alec Grattan. Erin Marie Haas. Samuel Nicholas Hayduke. Lily Agnes Henson. Grace Elizabeth Hoy. Kaylee Grace Kemp. Quinn Catherine Kinsella. Elise Catherine LeBombard. Noah Maxwell Lefevre. Mackenzie Ann Libera. Catherine Grace LaCastro. Lauren Elizabeth Lundrigan. Madeline Elizabeth Mahoney. Ethan Robert Molinari. Violet Stefania Monkavich. Nathaniel Richard Murphy. Rebecca Louise Nutting. John Francis O'Hara. Patrick Ward O'Hara. Elijah Edward Pacini. Ryan Arthur Pierce. Daniel Austin Pesesnik. Lily Marie Powell. Olivia Marie Quick. Rachel Mary Randall. John Timothy Riccardi. Joseph Dominic Riccardi. Madison Ling Riccardi. Jack Peter Santarello. Sarah Abigail Schwalbe. Michaela Karen Stevens. Jane Elizabeth Stewart. Julia Rose Stowell. Emma Lee Stewart. Paige Jeanette Tomini. Brianna Rhodes Van Helsdingen. Daniel Gregory Rona. And Lauren Victoria Young. Gabrielle Marie Archer. Carter James Austin. Pavel Vitalovich Bandura. Ashley Marie Beeler. Bradley Charles Bednarski. Benjamin Joseph Barata. Brooke Allison Buchanan. Elizabeth Margaret Buff. Natalie Grace Caldwell. David Fitzgerald Card. Chad Allen Kassler. Connor Bradley Kassler. Alexander Jeffrey Clark. Con James Clark. Allison Catherine Comer. Matthew Parker Chrysler. Liliana Elizabeth Cushman. Dylan Timothy Cusick. Zhangdu Dai. Abigail Lilia Delaney. Caroline Valeria Delaney. Haley Rose Delastrito. Kyle Lee Denka. Thomas Jefferson Drew. Thomas Aramis Edson. Ryan Jacob Evanchek. Grace Elizabeth Fabian. Benjamin Sergeyevich Fedorenko. Cameron Michael Finney. Alexander Paul Fitzpatrick. Bridget Mary Fogarty. Kayla Rose Fogg. Caitlin Morgan Foster. Ashley Marie Gilmore. Jessica May Getson. Alyssa Catherine Goodwin. Marcy Christine Gosson. Sarah Ryan Gotham. Morgan Carol Gould. Brenna Louise Heath. Jaden McCoy Herr. Jillian Amanda Hunt. Michael Richard Jarvie. Xavier Alexander John Jenner. Caroline Barbara Keegan. Nathaniel Ryan Knapp. Mackenzie Sarah Louise Lader. Madeline Grace Lanning. Robert Anthony Labello. Sean Jeffrey Mank. Michaela Diana Masters. Maxwell Robert McAuliffe. Benjamin Michael McFall. Morgan Linda Mitchell. Philip James Moore. Kate Marie Morris. Joseph Christopher Mort. Ethan Wallace Mosier. Kimberly Lucille Myers. Joseph Stephen Norris. Luke Russell Norstad. Megan Darcy O'Brien. Sydney Taylor Ope. Courtney Marie Otis. Julia Rose Perkowski. Matthew Joseph Reagan. Matthew Jared Wright. Taylor Nicole Wright. Jack Dennis Ritchie. Isabel Rose Rodolico. Hannah Weston Ryan. Brendan Patrick Shanahan. Michaela Elise Snook. Sydney Marie Spenfellner. Matthew Jacob Spicer. Morgan Kelsey Stevens. Bradley Roger Stoyle. Scott Russell Suarez. Skylar Ann Thorpe. Judah David Tuttle. Samantha Leigh Updegrove. Gabriel William Van Order. Emily Nicole Weeks. Zachary Kyle Weiler. Joshua James Winowski. Connor Jonathan Wixon. Kaylee Lynn Young.
I would ask that the class of 2018, the 125th commencement exercises, please stand. As you entered together, so shall you leave. With diploma in hand, I offer congratulations to the class of 2018. At this time, you may change your tassel from the left to the right, signifying graduate of Marcellus Central School District. You don't want to throw your hat? And this concludes the commencement exercises of the class of 2018. I would like to extend my sincere congratulations and heartfelt best wishes to each and every one of you. Parents, these graduates will recess to the gymnasium for a reception in their honors. Congratulations.